Boom. And that's it. Look at that. That was 0 seconds, and I hit transition. We are officially live, baby. That's right. LiftOff Podcast number 2, the official one, coming right back at you.
Absolutely.
Back to back, week to week, maybe possibly 2 times a week. That's too much to offer. Anyway, so really good at this. Welcome everyone who is here, anyone who is here. We appreciate you. Really failing at this because I've never done this. This is Styles on Speed. Beautiful man over here has decided to grace us with his presence. For anyone who was around and saw the beautiful graphic and the graphics that are around this, I'm just loving the shit out of this man. I just gotta say it. Does it all. We are going to be joined by a third party and a possible fourth party later. Huddy is MIA, but Ugly Boy Huddy will be joining us. We are going to be talking about music as musicians and streamers and video game players, and that is pretty much what I wanted to just talk about the whole time. That's what I want. We could get onto other stuff some other time if we want. So yeah, welcome. This is the beginning of it. This is how I start a podcast. How do I do, Chief?
Hello, podcast.
Okay, so let's have you talk for a second because you're obviously better at bringing in the reins than I am, even though I'm hosting this. So
I mean, I did my best on the last one, so.
darn tootin' you did.
I mean, yeah, I don't think we need introductions again, because
Okay.
I mean, if you want introductions, you can watch the last one. We'll obviously introduce Ugly Boy Huddy and your friend when they're over.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, music is a pretty big thing, I'd say.
The universal
there's
language.
A lot of genres. There's a lot of bands. There's a lot of good bands. There's a lot of drama surrounding bands. There's a lot of musical news. So yeah, I mean this can be a really long podcast. I imagine.
That is exactly why I decided to pick just the general topic of music for roughly 2 hours, because I figured that we could go back and forth on any topic in the general idea of it forever. So
absolutely.
I guess what I wanted to start talking about would be, so you are a musician, right? You play bass and guitar.
True.
So
True.
I want to talk
not
about
only bass guitar. I play guitar. I play bass guitar. I play some kind of piano, like piano-ish piano. What else? I sing. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, I've been dabbling into producing and stuff like that, but that's not really my main focus, I'd say, because I have people that do that for me. Not to sound cocky, but
you have the friends that already do mixing and producing, so why not
absolutely.
have that?
I mean, the guitar player of my band currently does our recording sessions and stuff like that. The song I sent you actually was his completely.
Okay.
I only played the bass and did the backing vocals, and everything else was him in his little house studio he has in his mini room.
That's,
so yeah,
that's fun. That's a good time. So you get
absolutely.
to just go over to the house and just basically, if you want to write almost a professional sounding recording, anytime you
absolutely.
want.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a 10 out of 10.
And he's like a creative mastermind. He's amazing.
Oh.
I haven't really been into second voices and
Thank
stuff
you, Speedy
like
Boy,
that.
for the follow. Appreciate you.
Hey,
bud.
thanks, man. Welcome to the team. Team Ploppa Styles today.
Yeah.
Plops on speed.
Plops on speed. Oh boy.
Yeah, like I said, he's a creative mastermind. He's giving you cues
Uh-huh.
which notes you should sing above him, and it always sounds magical when we do it. And I'm like, okay, man, I've never been the second voice in something. I mean, I've been the lead voice in some pieces,
Yeah.
but I've never really been the second voice. And if I was the second voice, I just went an octave higher
Okay.
because that always works magically. Um, and yeah, I mean, he's telling you, okay, you go like this, and I go like this, and then it should pretty much sound good. And you start it, and you do it, and it's fun, and it is good, and it sounds awesome. So yeah.
That would never be able to work for me because I can't sing, so I can't really hit notes.
Well, that's another thing I always tell people: nobody can not sing.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm following. It's just
Like,
harder for people.
if
So-
there's any musical interest in somebody, and somebody wants to go after that interest, I think everybody can sing, everybody can dance, everybody can play an instrument or whatever. If you have the passion for it, it works.
True.
'Cause I've been in that spot where I said, okay, man, I can't sing for shit. And all the people around me pushed me down and got me down and said, "Oh yeah, you suck at singing or whatever." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, I guess I suck at singing." And then at some point, I just said, "Man, fuck those guys. I don't give a shit whatever everybody says about my singing. I'll just sing." And then from that point on, you start to develop self-consciousness and like a way of seeing yourself in that singer role,
Okay.
and you just pursue it. And as long as you're pursuing it, you don't really have a problem with getting to a point where you're at least reasonably good,
Mhm.
so people can listen to you when you sing karaoke or whatever. But yeah,
Mm.
I really dig it. I really love singing nowadays.
Yeah, I enjoy, singing. I just know that what I'm projecting is not the thing that most people are gonna want to hear, though. You know.
Yeah, I get you.
Maybe if
it's
take
hard sometimes.
yeah, take some singing lessons. I don't know. Maybe that would work. I haven't.
Absolutely.
Shut-
And there are some voice teachers there. There's really some talented voice teachers as well that can really tickle out everything you have.
Yeah. I guess I never thought about it. I mean, I never took drum lessons, but rhythm and drumming is just like, I think a easier and more natural thing to figure out by yourself than to be able to like sing and like use like these muscles here. To,
I
like,
mean,
hear
drumming
notes.
is a human instinct.
Yeah, exactly.
Every kid has sat there and has gone,
Dang straight they have.
you know. I mean, that's just something you learn from like in a friggin' baby's age, like a toddler. You'll be drumming on stuff, and that keeps on through life, I'd say.
And you're like,
I mean, I've seen grandpas
Sounds
sit
good.
around and stump their foot on something or whatever. Like that's just a thing that comes that pretty much grows with you.
yeah, I've been banging on pots and pans. I remember going in my kitchen and like being like 4 years old or something, and like putting together like each pot and pan like individually and just like hitting them. That's what
Yeah,
I
I mean, like I said, it's an instinct.
yeah, you just want to make noise. But so besides all the wonderful things that we have talked about, I wanted to, speaking of the music and the instruments that you play, I was wondering what got you into playing music. What made you want to play bass guitar? What made you want to play guitar? Like what brought you to that? And playing in a band especially, because because you don't just play the instrument. You also you have performed and you've recorded. So like it's one step further, What brought you there?
Well, I mean, funny story. It was actually Guitar Hero.
Okay.
Like I was playing Guitar Hero when I was like around 19 or 20, something like that. And I was like, man, if I can play an expert real guitar can't be so hard, right? Like, and then the first time I had the guitar in my hand, I thought I'd die.
Yeah.
because it's so hard to put your fingers on the guitar for the
Yeah.
first few times.
Doing the
I
bar
mean,
chords and everything.
no, like in general, pushing a sight down, but pushing a string down,
Uh huh.
like it freaking hurts. It hurts so badly in the beginning, and I was like, man, I don't know if I can play guitar. I don't know if I want to pursue that because it's so it hurt my fingers. My fingers were open. They were cut,
Yeah.
and I was like, damn, this hurts so much. And I was like, fuck it, man. I got to pull through it, and maybe there's some skin building up or whatever, and I'll just have to see. And I did, and I got kind of better. And at some point, we had a bar my best friend and I always went to,
Okay.
and I think that night I wasn't there
Mm-hmm.
for once, and he and the future bass player of our band met there and drank and talked about music, and they were like, man, we should totally start up a band. And he was like, yeah, man, starting up a band, really cool. They were shit faced as fuck, so yeah,
That's a good start. Yeah.
founding a band sounds really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they just kept it and said, okay, man, let's do a list of a few songs we can cover, and let's get the drummer and the bad guitar player involved. And I was like, okay, man, if you say you want to start a band, we can start a band. I don't give a shit. Let's
Mm-hmm.
go. And he started to sing. The bass player started obviously to play bass. The drummer
Uh-huh.
started drumming, and I started to play guitar.
Okay.
And that was with, I'd say, 21, 22.
Okay. So that's.
Yeah, now 8, 9 years later, um, I mean, I can look back on some cool concerts.
Uh
I
huh.
can look back on some cool recording sessions. I can look back at some funny photo shoots. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a hell of a time to be a musician. I gotta say, big fan.
Do you have any concerts that you have played with any like big or mildly big like names that are like over by you?
Nah, not really. I wouldn't say so. I mean, we've played some cool and big shows. There's one pretty big location where there were like something around 200, maybe 300 people in there.
Okay.
That was fun.
That's pretty good.
And we went to the VIP backstage area and shit like that, and got catered and everything.
Oh.
So we felt like real stars. Yeah, but I mean, obviously we're not. Otherwise, I wouldn't be on Twitch now. So.
Hey, you know what?
um. Yeah,
Still
but
sounds like that was a really
it
good
was fun.
concert.
It was hell of a lot of fun, and we provided all the gear, so we sounded the best, obviously, because it was our gear,
Yeah.
and that was just amazing. It was a hell of a show. We ate schnitzel beforehand.
Nice.
It was really good.
Nice. And this is me being dumb. What is schnitzel?
Schnitzel, it's pounded uh beef, but baby beef, like
Baby beef.
cow,
Okay.
and it's battered in an egg
Okay.
and breadcrumbs,
Oh.
and then you just fucking fry it off,
Okay.
and it's really good.
That sounds pretty good. Do you just eat that plain, or do you have like a sauce on the side? So
You
this-
can do it with a sauce. You can do it with French
Do-
fries. You can do it with mashed potatoes. You can do it with as a sandwich.
Okay.
Schnitzel is you have a big variety of schnitzel dishes.
Now, how do
I can
you
tell you that much.
even though we're talking about music, how do you eat your schnitzel? What is?
Well, I like mine from Brauhaus. That's one of my favorite restaurants to go to.
Okay.
And they serve two big old schnitzels. They're like this big.
Oh my god. Okay.
So they're twice as big as my head.
Uh huh.
Um,
Getting hungry, chat?
and then they have like those little pots of sauce, and there's a Brazilian cognac sauce, I think.
Okay. This all sounds really good.
And that just blows your mind if you eat it. It's just the best. And there's a crunchy option for those, so they pretty much batter it with cornflakes
Okay.
instead of the breadcrumbs, and that's like the bomb. It's the bomb.
Mm-hmm. It
Love it.
all sounds really good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Apparently, love me some
Absolutely.
schnitzel, even though I've never had it.
I mean, there are some American options. I'd say in New York, you'll be able to find schnitzel.
Probably if I now look and am more intrigued.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Had to check that out sometime.
I mean, there were a lot of German immigrants to the States, so there's a lot of schnitzel, let's say.
Yeah. We're mostly over here on the island where I am, Long Island. Fucking. Oh no! I said the first F word. PG-13. That's the only one that we get, and I was the one who took it. It's mainly Irish and Italian over here. That's all we got. So we got just like pizza pasta, and then
potatoes and pasta.
And then just like Irish pubs that just are like, okay, here is this mash and some beer.
I mean, I wouldn't say no to mash and beer.
No,
sounds good to me.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. But
I mean, there's worse things than that.
Very accurate. I can't think off the top of my head, and I don't want to say anything disgusting. So we're gonna keep trucking along, keep on winning, keep on streaming.
I mean, one question I'd ask you is, what is your favorite band?
What is my favorite band? That's hard, you know? Like, my opinion...
It is for me as well.
In my opinion, I don't know if I can say, like, a number one. I can say, like, a rotating list of my number three, though.
Alright. Sure. Go ahead.
My Chemical Romance is always going to be in my top three.
I think that's in almost all people around our ages top three, I'd say.
You're like, probably. It's just, I love their whole discography. I love their first album. I Brought You My Bullets, You Brought Me Your Love, right? Or I Brought You, I think that's what it's called. It's heavy and like very like post-punky, but also emo, and like I'm very into like the punk scene from the 80s. And like it has a lot of that sound, and people don't realize that like My Chemical Romance isn't a punk band, but
sure, absolutely, all the way.
But yeah, My Chemical Romance, Twerp or Tupperware Remix Party, TWRP. They're like Daft Punk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, do you know who Twerp is? Because you listen to Ninja Sex Party, or you know about Ninja Sex Party.
Yeah, it's their band, right?
Yeah, so Twerp is they do instrumentals for the cover albums and the most recent NSP album, but they're their own band. And yeah, they use the vocoder like Daft Punk does, but they're also like less electronic and like more new disco. Like they're like they do the Daft Punk thing, but they play like what you would consider like late 70s, early 80s disco rhythms. And
I mean, that sounds pretty cool.
So that's like my number two. And then if I had to, if just number three off the top of the dome piece, that of all the music I listen to, Jeff Rosenstock or Bomb the Music Industry is the band that he fronted. They're a local band to me anyway, but like Jeff Rosenstock has gone on and is a bigger musician now, and he's not like super famous or anything, but people know his name. If you've ever heard of a show on Cartoon Network called Craig of the Creek, it's like
sadly not.
It's a newer cartoon. It's meant just general ages of 7 and up. Anyone can watch it. It's Cartoon Network. He does the music for that now, and it's really good to hear really actual good music in a cartoon. But yeah, those are probably the three for me. But I could never pick a favorite. Like, even out of those rotating three, I probably have another 2 or 3 I could name that I really love. But yeah, I love music. That's why I want to talk about it. But that's it. That's what you got for me. What about you? I don't think we've talked about what your favorite artist or band is.
I mean, I can go ahead and just out of out of top of my head say the top three. I mean, not in chronological order,
Yeah.
obviously. Um, so there's definitely Queens of the Stone Age.
Okay.
That's one of my all-time favorites. Seen them on Rock am Ring, and they were just killing it. I mean, there's a funny story to that.
Okay.
My brother-in-law, so my girlfriend's brother, he's like he's like the fucking funniest dude I've ever met. Like
Yeah.
he's
Funniest.
a funny dude, and he's always drinking and smoking pot.
Yeah.
So that's his two mainstays.
Drinking and
And
smoking pot. Got it.
on Rock am Ring, you can only bring in a juice box pretty much, or a milk box,
Okay.
and so for a drink, so you can put water in that, and just they normally take duct tape and tape them to their shoulders, so you have a little handbag pretty much, and you can drink out of that. That's pretty much how everybody does it.
Yeah.
And this
Cool.
motherfucker didn't use that thing for juice or water or whatever. He put vodka O in there. So vodka with orange juice. And there was not a lot of orange juice in there. Really that much. And who was like, we were like going to the festival area, and he was drinking. We were smoking pot on the grass. We were chilling outside. It was fucking, I don't know. I don't know how to say it in English dummy units. Um,
It's okay. You go and hit us
it
with
was
that.
like it was like 35 degrees Celsius or
Okay.
something like that.
Got it.
So it was really hot.
That's probably
And
like 95 degrees Fahrenheit, by the way,
yeah,
guys.
something around that, like 100 or 105 degrees, something like that, Fahrenheit. Um, and we were just chilling. We were just having a blast. I was so stoked to see Queens of the Stone Age for the first time live. I
Mhm.
was like, man, I can't wait for it. We were watching some other bands. We were having fun. It was all cool. Um, he pissed into a cup in the middle of the crowd,
Yeah.
and then he just tossed it around over his head,
Oh
and
God.
everybody got some, and everybody was pissed at him. But it
Yeah.
was all good. It was all fun. It was all hee 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 ha ha.
Hee 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 hee
So
ha ha.
the time comes up where Queens of the Stone Age are up to play, and we're standing in front of the stage, like second row or something like that. And I was like, "Fucking hell! I'll never experience anything cooler than this." So my funny fucking brother-in-law thinks it's a good timing to pass out, like completely done. And I was like, "Oh my god!" And we took him, and we dragged him out of the crowd. We set him
Yeah.
next to a rail, and we were like, man, okay, cool, I guess we'll watch the concert from here, from the sideline, like 20 meters off the stage to the left, so you didn't see shit except for maybe some lights and one keyboard or something like that. And I was like, yeah, man,
60 feet, by the
um,
way, guys. 20 meters is 60 feet.
absolutely 60 feet, yeah. Crazy units, absolutely. And and yeah, I was like, yeah, cool. That's it with the concert. That's my first time Quatsa, sitting on the sideline and looking after my brother-in-law. And then all of a sudden he got up and was like, "Oh man, okay, I'm back here. I'm back here. I'm good." And I was like, "Man, sit down. Shut the fuck up. Chill out, relax. It's all good. We'll chill here with you, and it's all good." And then all of a sudden, one of the security guys comes over, gives him a bottle of water, and says, "I'll take care of him. You go have fun." And I was like, "No, for real though?" And my girlfriend was like, "Man, let's go. We got to see them." And I was like, "Okay." And then we got back into the crowd, and I said, "Man, we won't get that place back. We won't get to that second row or something."
Yeah.
And we pushed our way all through to third row.
Yeah, you did.
So I was standing in the third row watching Quatsa, and it was fucking amazing. Yeah, I mean that's Queens of the Stone Age with a little anecdote.
I like it.
Um,
I like hearing about it. That's cool.
I mean another thing that's pretty cool is Eagles of Death Metal.
I've heard of them. I think I've listened to them. That's cool.
I mean that's pretty much the second project of Josh Homme. That's also the lead singer of Queens of the Stone Age.
Yeah.
But he's the drummer of Eagles of Death Metal and the backing vocals and producer
Okay.
and whatever.
Gotcha.
And the front singer is actually his, I think, pretty much best friend.
Okay.
And he had a massive drinking problem, as far as I recall it. And Josh pretty much took him in and said, "Hey, buddy, we're making music now, and you stop with that fucking drinking and with that problem, and you'll just be an amazing musician now." And that's what he did.
Good job, Josh Homme, helping out the
Yeah,
homies.
absolutely.
Homme helping out the
Absolutely.
homies.
Josh the homie, absolutely.
No doubt, Josh
Um,
Homme, to the best.
Man, that third place, it's really hard to really pin down that third place.
Foo
I mean,
Fighters.
Arctic Monkeys are amazing.
Ooh, Arctic Monkeys. Yeah, that's a good one. My band used to cover
Um,
Arctic Monkeys. That used to be in my top.
Arctic Monkeys are really cool.
I saw them live.
Um,
They were good.
I would like to say the same, but I haven't seen them yet.
Dang.
And I mean, that new album is kind of strangey, but
It's like-
it's still cool. But it's gotten more adult and matured.
Yeah.
And,
Why did they stop doing the like the really just like it's really I missed that. What that Matt
I mean,
Helders was like the best rock
the drums are
drummer.
amazing. The drums are amazing.
Dude,
What's the drummer's name?
Matt
like-
Matt Helders.
Yeah, Matt Helders.
He like
he's
I'm not
great.
not gonna lie, on the album that I played on, the Carbon Thief Intellect Me, there is a part of one of the songs that I took from an Arctic Monkeys riff, like on drums. Like
I mean,
it
who can blame you?
like he was very influential on my drumming. I was like, yo, he hits so hard.
Yeah, and it's still he still manages to keep it melodic.
Yeah, he's crazy, dude. Love him.
Like some people just go haywire on a drum set, and that's what they call music. And I'm like, okay, man, cool. I could have dropped the drum set like a 20 stair flight case down there, and it would have made exactly the same drum riff. But man, he's a really good drummer.
Yeah,
He's a really good drummer.
No doubt. One of the more talented present rock drummers, even though Arctic
Absolutely,
Monkeys
absolutely.
haven't done much recently. What, they came out with that thing 2 years ago already? It's been like maybe a year.
Yeah, I mean another thing is Foo Fighters, obviously. That's what my current band covers,
Yeah.
and Foo Fighters are just as amazing. Like Dave Grohl on guitar is cool, but I mean Dave Grohl on friggin' drums is even cooler.
I'd agree with that.
And Tyler Hawkins is just as cool on the drums.
Yeah, he's
Um,
a pretty good drummer.
I mean, what I like, I don't know if you've ever heard of them Crooked Vultures.
Yeah, I've heard of them. I haven't listened to much
They're
of them out there. But
that's the fucking coolest supergroup ever. Like John Paul Jones of Led Zeppelin,
yeah.
Dave Grohl,
Uh-huh.
and Josh Homme.
hmm There used to be a
So
song.
3 of my favorite bands in one band, pretty much.
Yeah, you're a big fan of
Awesome.
Led Zeppelin too.
Absolutely.
Favorite
Fucking
album.
amazing. I was born in the wrong century, man.
What do you have a favorite Led Zeppelin album?
I wouldn't say I have a favorite album. I have favorite songs. I mean, Black Dog is fucking cool. Absolutely.
Yeah, that one's a good one.
Unpopular opinion, I like Stairway to Heaven.
It's a good song. It's
I don't think
overrated,
it-
but it's
you
beautiful.
you can't play it in any guitar center or you just get thrown out.
It's true.
Yeah, I mean Led Zeppelin has pretty much every Led Zeppelin song is cool.
Immigrant song,
You
obviously.
can put anything on by Led Zeppelin and it'll be rad. Immigrant song, fuck yeah. That's they have some cool music, and I mean they're all pretty much music masters, I think,
Yeah.
officially.
Yeah.
And I mean a band full of music masters. Come on,
Yeah.
how good can it be?
Did we start the argument though about how Black Sabbath is better than Led Zeppelin?
Um, I mean I wouldn't argue with that, but
I wouldn't argue it either.
yeah.
It's facts. Black Sabbath is better.
I mean, what was it? Tommy Iommi?
Yeah.
Was that a guitar player?
Yeah.
He was a beast, man. He was a
Yeah.
beast.
Crazy.
And what's the bass player's name?
I feel bad that I don't. Wait, hold on.
Butler?
Yeah,
Butler
right?
something?
No,
Right?
wait, is it. Hold on. I had to
Damn.
look it up.
We're making asses of ourselves here.
I know. I know.
I'm a
What?
Gerard Butler, and I'm a dumbass for even saying that.
Okay, so I was gonna say it, but I didn't want to sound like I was dumb. But I'm right. It's Geezer Butler.
Geezer Butler.
That's
Fucking
what.
hell,
That's
of
what I
course.
was. I wanted to say it, but I was like, oh no, do I
Exactly.
embarrass myself more by just?
No, it's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. And that man is a beast on the bass.
And then,
He's amazing.
we have Bill Ward, right? On the drums.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
that guy's actually insane.
Yeah.
And then you have Ozzy. Like, come on, what the fuck? That is.
Yeah,
Black
it's
Sabbath is
phenomenal.
so good. Black Sabbath
Absolutely.
is the fact that we live in a universe where Black Sabbath exists. We are truly blessed.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Hell,
I mean, we
Satan.
still live in the same presidential crisis, but yeah, Black Sabbath makes it better.
I mean, now's the
That's it.
time to listen to him, right? You gotta listen to War Pigs. That's all about
Absolutely, absolutely,
that.
absolutely,
but
absolutely.
but yeah, okay. So that's yo favorite bands. We've gone over that. But and you're getting where what brought you into music, which is Guitar Hero, which coincidentally, I too have become a musician because of Guitar Hero. Actually, Guitar Hero and Rock Band was the thing that furthered it. I liked Guitar Hero because it was a rhythm game,
With the instruments.
but like once I could play drums on Rock Band, I was like, this is pretty cool, you know. And I played that for a while. And once I played on Expert, I was like, well, what's the difference between me going like on a pad to me going on a drum set, you know?
True.
So
True. There is none.
there was a big difference, but the fundamentals were there because you learn fundamentals of drumming from playing on Rock Band.
Although I gotta say, if you listen to the songs and you know what you're actually hitting on a drum set
It makes
when
sense.
you hit
Yeah.
that on the pads, it makes sense kind of. It's easier to go from a Rock Band drum set to a real drum set than from a Rock Band guitar to a real guitar.
100%.
That's just a stupid thing to compare, man.
Yeah, no, it's definitely way more of a similar instrument, no doubt, in every way. But yeah, that's what got me into playing music. I love playing Rock Band. I used to do the endless set list, the whole thing
Yeah.
with my friends. We
Yeah.
did Rock Band
Me
2, the endless set list 2, all 84 songs on Expert. Yo, once it got to that song Abnormalities, the one where the girl's screaming, yo, it took
Yeah.
like 4 tries to get through that because my friends just kept failing, and I was like,
Although I gotta say, which drum set would you prefer? Like the Guitar Hero drum set or the Rock Band drum set?
So the Guitar Hero drum set has the cymbals, but
Yeah.
didn't the Rock Band have the add-ons to get the cymbals?
They
eventually?
upgraded it. Yeah.
Yeah, I never played with the cymbals, but I know it made it seem like it looked like more of a real kit. But it made it way harder because you had to read more things on the screen.
It did.
So
Yeah.
I think that was definitely a cool thing because that probably
I
definitely.
mean, what
got
was it?
more
It was four pads and one kick, right?
Yeah, 4 pads
For
and
the
1
Rock
kick,
Band stuff.
and then they added the 2 cymbals.
See, then the Rock Band kit was actually harder because the Guitar Hero one had like 3 pads, I think, 2 cymbals and the kick.
Okay. Yeah, the Rock Band one
So if you have the
eventually.
4 pads,
Yeah, the Rock Band one eventually, when they added the cymbals, they added 2 cymbals. So you had to read 6 notes and a kick, so 7 notes.
see,
Yeah, they gave you the ride and the hi hat basically, is what they do.
yeah,
So, which is pretty cool, definitely. Like that definitely probably made and like I used to watch videos of people who would just MIDI their actual electronic drum kit
yeah.
and just I'm like, you're cheating. That's not fair. You have a $3,000 electronic drum set to play a rhythm game. I call shenanigans.
True. Yeah,
Well,
I'm kind of sad that they got out of fashion.
yeah.
Like, it's kind of sad because there's so much good music that you could actually put in there if you wanted. But the biggest problem with all this is the licensing and the DLC shit. Like
Yeah.
don't get me started on it. If you wanna buy Rocksmith, that guitar learning
Yeah, I've
thing
seen.
where you can play actually real guitar
Mhm.
in the game. If you have to buy like every package, you'll be at least at $200 or something like that. Let me check that out. I mean, let's see.
I mean, don't you need an actual guitar to play?
You do. There was even a set with it, so you got a guitar and the game and the cable.
Mhm.
DLC Rocksmith total. Let's see.
What do you
Totally
get?
super.
What does chat think of Rocksmith? Anybody in chat know in the chat? It's okay. Whatever.
There's one person in the stream, and I don't even know if that is a person actually.
Yeah, it's probably not a person. It's okay. Don't worry.
Body McBotbot.
We'll see you later on YouTube. Love you.
Yeah, exactly, man. Hi YouTube. Hi. All right, so do the math. Single song $2.99, 3-pack $7.99, and 5-pack $11.99. So that's how much. Okay, so $970.45
For what now? Huh?
for the DLC on Rocksmith
For all of it?
for all the songs
$1,000.
that are currently out. That are currently out.
$1,000.
Yeah, pretty much. Plus the game, plus the guitar, plus maybe console or PC to play it on.
Okay. $1,500 for all of the content for Rocksmith. You heard it here, folks. Is it worth it? You tell us. Poll says no.
Absolutely easy peasy, all good.
Oh, Style
All
says
good.
yes. I say no. We're already divided.
I mean, I wouldn't ever spend that amount of money.
$1,500 to learn an instrument, guys.
Yeah. I mean, on the other hand, I don't know what you normally would pay for like lessons and stuff. So
True.
if you're really good in teaching yourself something, I guess you can pretty much easily learn guitar from that.
I mean, I guess if you played enough songs and you read it enough, like you would eventually learn. But does it actually teach you how to play though? You know what I mean?
If you get onto master difficulty, it will, because the notes will disappear, and you'll just play an empty screen pretty much.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, at some point you'll have to memorize everything to actually get to master mode,
Okay.
and then yeah,
Okay, so it
you
does.
memorize all that. So
And I guess the hardest
One more.
difficulty was probably the actual song.
yeah,
Okay. Okay,
Pretty much.
$1,500 to learn an instrument. You could spend $1,500 on a really nice instrument and never learn how to play it, or you could
True.
spend $1,500 on a really horrible instrument and learn how to play it really well. Which one sounds better to you? You decide. And everyone
Yeah, no,
say
I mean,
yes because there's only us in
games
chat.
and to work with in exclamation marks. I mean, I've used it for rehearsals at home.
Uh huh.
That was pretty good because you can just download Foo Fighters songs and stuff like that and just play them on the bass and not have an actual band around you to play with, or play to a song that actually is running, because they cut everything out of the song. So you're playing with the Foo Fighters, but you don't have the bass of Nate, or you play with the Foo Fighters, but you don't have the guitar of Dave,
You can like
and all the other guitars are still playing. You know?
you can like cut it out.
Yeah, it cuts it out for you.
Oh, like while
You
you're
can
playing
choose
the instrument.
Or if you want to play rhythm guitar or you want to play bass,
Uh huh.
and then they just give you that audio track pretty much.
Oh, okay. So that's actually pretty neat. Okay.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's perfect. It was perfect for the Corona times where you have to self-isolate and stay at home and do nothing all day long.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, that kept me a little sane.
Okay, so you played Rocksmith during this quarantine.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Gotcha.
And it's still a blast. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Really dig it.
Yeah, no, I watched a Rocksmith stream recently from LiftOff fame, terrifying Taya. Taya was playing it the other night.
Real?
Yeah. She was playing bass.
That's
She was
cool.
playing, I think, an Iron Maiden song. She was all like, because you know they only gallop in Iron Maiden.
Absolutely. What else did
You're right. What else are you gonna do in a Iron Maiden is so good.
Iron Maiden is fucking amazing, and I've seen them live.
What? You've seen Nico
Yeah.
McBrain live?
Absolutely.
What?
Yeah.
I'm
It's cool.
jealous. I'm so jealous
Yeah.
that you've seen.
It was on Rock am Ring with Quetzal on there.
Wow, that's pretty sick.
So Queens of the Stone Age, I also saw Iron Maiden, and I don't even know who played on the other slots, but I mean Metallica was playing on that same Rock am Ring because it was supposed to be the last Rock am Ring. Yeah, I didn't watch them. I boycotted them.
You boycotted them?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't like Metallica.
They have one really good album. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but they're overrated. They're totally overrated.
Do you know which album I'm talking about, though? Bet you don't.
Ride the Lightning.
No, you're really close, though. You're really close because that's their early work, so you're on the right track.
Yeah, I mean, it's always the early works.
Yeah, it's Kill 'Em All, their first album.
Saint Anger. Is it Saint Anger?
The one where there's trash cans for hi-hats and snares?
It's amazing.
No,
It's
dude.
just amazing.
But no, Kill 'Em All.
Worst drum sound on any CD ever.
Who allowed that to happen?
It just blows my mind.
I can't believe it.
But Lars Ulrich, man, he's a
a
eccentric guy, eccentric little dwarf.
I know nothing about Lars Ulrich besides when I watched that like documentary thing that they did like after like they were horrible with like the 2000s, and like there's just like a video of like them being like Lars is like, okay, I'm gonna play over this, don't worry, and he just like plays the most like he's never played drums before. Oh, hey, apparently my grandma gave me food. This is grandma.
Hello, Grandma.
I'm on chat with someone.
Oh,
Thank you, grandma.
I got you so.
Hold on. Wait, I had to, apparently there's a be right back on this podcast. I do apologize. Hold on. Styles, fill it in for me.
Hashtag grandma stream. So yeah, I mean, I'll get us through here. I'll try my best. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all we're talking about now. Like Metallica was really
old thing of
really good, I think, on Rock am Ring, but yeah, I don't know. I don't like I said, I don't really like Metallica because everybody likes Metallica.
You're pretty much right.
anti-mainstream.
Yeah, a lot of people like Metallica. They only
Yeah, but I mean, I get why they do, but I gotta say when what's his name? What's the bassist's name, man? Cliff Burton.
Yeah, Cliff Burton.
When Cliff Burton still played in him, I think if Cliff would have survived that stupid bus crash, they would have made it way further,
aren't they?
and
like,
would have been even more popular than they are now.
Yeah. Aren't they like pretty
see.
much the biggest like band to ever exist though?
I mean, they are, but they could be even bigger.
Well, when did Cliff Burton die? Didn't he die after like
It was like the first album or something
Yeah.
like that. It was really early.
That's why, and the first
It was
album,
really-
the first album also had Dave Mustaine technically on it.
Yeah.
Kirk Hammett played the solos on the album, but the solos that he played on the album were written by Dave Mustaine,
Yeah.
as well as the other guitar work. So that's why.
I mean, Dave Mustaine is one hell of a fucking guitar player.
Mhm.
I didn't really ever get behind that feud between them,
Mhm.
but I mean, they're good buddies nowadays, as I hear. But
Yeah.
I
like
don't know.
I like Megadeth. I think Megadeth
Yeah,
was,
they're pretty cool.
was better than Metallica.
Ooh.
Oh. I know,
Look at that boy
not a
doing.
lot of people share that opinion, but they're wrong.
I mean, thankfully nobody watches our podcast, so
True.
it doesn't really matter.
There's 2 viewers right now. It says there's 2.
Oh, there are 2 viewers.
In
Oh my
Pog.
god! Hello,
Can we-
viewer.
Can we get a pog
How
in
you
chat for the one extra viewer that is probably a bot?
I can give us a
Appreciate
pog in
you.
chat. I'll give us a pog in chat. Let's go, pog chab. Whoop whoop.
Woo, woo, woo.
Yeah, I mean,
So now
might be.
what?
No, it's not my girlfriend. Why isn't my girlfriend in here? Like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah, where is she?
Petty John was in the chat, it seems. Oh, 3 viewers. Hello there.
Nice. So
What's going on?
what I wanted to talk about now, about the music stuff and going on and continuing from the what got you into it, blah 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 blah. So you've recorded an album?
Not a whole album.
No.
We recorded like 3 or 4 songs, something like that. Like an EP, I'd say.
Was that ever released?
Sadly not.
No.
Sadly not. I mean, the band split up after like, what was it, like 2 months? 2 months after we recorded, something like that. So
Okay.
there wasn't really a lot of time to actually get that stuff out. Yeah, but I mean the songs are still on some hard drive with that guy I talked about earlier.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, at some point I might look into it and see what we actually have. I mean, I sent you that other song we recorded,
Mhm.
like that was last year, like summer of last year, I think, when we recorded that cover. The songs before, we actually recorded our own songs that we wrote ourselves,
Mhm.
and yeah, they were really cool. I really dig them. Especially the ones I wrote with that guy I talked about earlier, because he's just, like I said, a creative mastermind. He's not the best in songwriting per se, like the lyrics, but
Yeah.
everything else he's just a bomb.
He can
He's just a
compose
bomb
music
music.
very well.
Absolutely, and he has an ear for good music.
Yeah.
Gotta say.
I would like
I mean,
to
his influences are reaching from Alter Bridge to Shinedown to Foo Fighters to, and he pretty much combines all of that into his own songs, and it's great.
need to hear it. Need to hear all that music. I love listening to people's love children creations.
Absolutely. And I mean, we were kind of like a punk band. I mean, one of our songs was called "Where's It Got Now."
Okay.
That was about like people going to church and sending out prayers and helping with prayers and being there with prayers, and we're praying to God that He'll help you. I mean, I won't help you, but He will. And I was like, man, that's a fucked up worldview, isn't it? Like sending out hope and prayers. Like what the hell? What the hell is that supposed to do? Like go there, actually put some sandbags down if something is being flooded or whatever,
Uh-huh.
and help the fuck out, help them with your physical body,
Yeah.
like
What?
not with your thoughts and prayers. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
And that's pretty much
Right.
what the whole song's about.
That said, actions speak louder than words.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and that's what the song was about, and that's kind of like my most favorite song, I'd say.
Okay.
We
That's
ever
cool.
played.
That you ever played.
And that was completely written by me, and it was like about children starving. Children are starving, and the church is pretty much doing shit against it, and everybody's still going there and saying, "Hey, man, thoughts and prayers, while some little kids, fucking 2-year-olds, they have bloated bellies and flies crawl all over them, into their eye sockets, into their anuses and whatever. Like it's fucking horrible.
Yeah,
and
it's terrible.
they're like,
Oh.
man, thoughts and prayers, God, thoughts and prayers, God. I'm like, man, come on.
That has
We as humanity could do better than that.
Yeah, and that actually goes on like a mild topic of like what we talked about last week about like the fact that there's like some disconnect of like empathy and sympathy that happened somewhere along the way. I think it's always been like that, but I think now in the times that we're in, like just current like 2020, just people are so selfish, unfortunately, and like we've lost a lot of humanity. Like I feel like you could go out in the wild and you'll see just what we say just an animal will have more what we consider humanity than we do today as humans, in my opinion, like from what I've seen. So
That's true.
So I
mean,
like
I think
the idea of that song. It sucks.
A
It's
big part
unfortunate.
of that whole story is the internet, I
Yeah.
think, because the internet makes you anonymous. The internet gives you the place where you can troll somebody, where you can bully somebody, where you can not be yourself, because nobody knows who you are, nobody knows what you are, nobody knows what you really want in your life, and from their life maybe even. Like, yeah, I mean that anonymous thing is a really big part of losing that empathy, I'd say.
I would agree with that, because you can act however you want to someone and think that there's not any consequences because they're
Absolutely right.
hundreds of kilometers away behind a screen. But the thing is, you're also that person behind that screen.
Yeah,
You know?
that's the thing everybody doesn't really consider,
And remember, golden rule: treat others how you want to be treated, and you will get it in return. Be
True.
good. Be righteous to one another.
Yeah.
Remember that.
I mean that's what our discords are for, I think. I mean, everybody's trying to support everybody as good as they can, and like I said last week in the podcast, I really was afraid I'd go on that streaming adventure, be by myself all the time, be alone in that big old shark pool as a little guppy, and just get bitten a lot. Like, I was really afraid of the whole story, and that's one thing that kept me back, I'd say, because I mean, I'm trying to be not emotional a lot, and I try to be hard a lot, but sometimes it gets to me. Like some things really get to me. I mean, I'm not showing it to anybody because I don't give a fuck about anybody else. Like I said, if you give a fuck about anybody else, you're fucked. And as long as you can be yourself, and as long as you can try to look over topics and stuff, it makes things easier, Oh, Huddy just woke up.
Honey just
He
woke
just
up.
wrote me.
He wrote you.
You right here?
Okay.
Jump into the podcast
Hey, Ma.
voice channel.
I love you too, Ma. I love you most. I love you most. This. Got him.
Look at the love. This is
Wow.
what love looks like. See?
Exactly. That's what we're here for. We're here for positivity. We're here for support. If you guys need anything at any time, hit us up. We're usually around. Oh,
Really? Oh, look who's joining us here, Mr. Ugly Boy Hoodie.
who is not ugly, but is a boy. Well, he's a man. So not ugly nor a boy. Handsome man Huddy is with us.
What's up, guys?
Yo, do we get a beautiful video camera, or are you not good? You're not decent for that.
I don't have a camera for my computer. Sorry.
Ripperoni.
I mean,
Okay, it's okay. We
Yeah,
get your beautiful
we can
voice.
manage with your voice.
Yes.
All right.
So now that we have our third. This is Ugly Boy Huddy. He the legend himself, the man, the mythos, the person who has brought LiftOff to your screens over here and has made this a thing. He's great, and I am introducing him. This is how I introduce people. How do you tell us about yourself? This is now the second LiftOff podcast, and you are here for the first time. What is up?
Hi guys. Ugly Boy Huddy here. Real name Cameron Hudson from Baltimore, Maryland. You know, I've always loved music. I've always played video games my whole life since I was like 2 years old. My first video game I ever played, I'd probably say is like Sonic, to be completely honest.
Ooh,
and like the
Sonic.
first, like Sonic off of like the Sega Genesis, like old Sonic.
OG Sonic.
Yeah, and like I think what made me really want to make a like server was seeing all the servers that I'm in, and I'm just like, okay, well, what if I made my own? So I made my own my own server for people to express themselves however they want, and I wanted to make it for people who are small streamers so they can reach out and network with other people, and therefore they can build their audience. I let's see, 23 years old. That's about it. Like that's a basis. That's like the basic covering of Putty.
Nice. And hey,
There you go, man.
I think that
Welcome to our podcast.
I think that
Welcome to your podcast as well. So
yeah, collective hour. But
Awesome, dude.
yeah, that's I love that you've done this. It has made it so all of us can be in touch that we're doing this. This wouldn't be being done if it wasn't for your idea, Huddy. We would not. Well, we might know each other. It's been different times, but we're here now, and that's what matters. And it's absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely.
So, Stiles, do you want to say something?
I mean, we could go ahead and just ask Huddy the same things we asked each other.
Yeah, I was about to ask him. Unless you want to be the one that asks him, do it, Stiles.
No. You're
I'm
the host, man.
You're right. I
You're
am
the
the
host.
host. Okay.
I'll shut my trap now.
All
Listen.
right. So, I think the first thing that I asked Stiles was, what got you into music specifically, Huddy? Like what? So you rap and you produce?
Yeah, I do both.
Do you play any instruments, or is that because I'm not 100%. I guess I've never asked this until now. Do you play any other instruments? Do you play instruments?
No, I don't. My little sisters do. I don't know why I never got into it.
Gotcha. So then, what got you into rapping, and what got you into producing?
Well, what got me into like the music industry as a whole, I guess I'll say, is like I was like 13 years old, and I wrote a story for English class because one of our projects was to write a story and create a story of our own, and they makeshifted it into a book, and everybody loved the book. Everybody loved it. Like being excited as a kid, you want to show everyone.
Mhm.
So everybody's reading it, and they're like, dude, this book is amazing. This book's amazing. Kids are easily influenced over their classmates. So
Mhm.
like when I heard that, I was like, yeah, dope. And it was like a poetry book. It wasn't like a regular schmegular book. It was like a book that was made for like poetry because I liked how it sounded. I love poetry. I love reading it. Like I read The Raven multiple times by Edgar Allan Poe. I done read a lot of different poems, and I even put myself in a thing we had in middle school called a poetry slam.
Okay.
So, and we won first place, me and my buddy. He
Nice.
didn't really follow the path of making poems. Like I kind of like just kept going.
Mhm.
And one day somebody came up to me. I don't remember who specifically, but somebody came up to me and was just like, "Hey man, like why don't you think about like making that into a song? Because songs is just poetry put onto a beat or anything that has like some type of music in the background."
Mhm.
So I was like, "Yeah, that sounds like a good idea." So I just started writing stuff behind a beat, and I would like put it on a piece of paper in my little notepad I had, and I would start reading it to myself over and over and over, like rehearsing. And I liked
Mhm.
how it sounded, so I started looking up ways on Google like how I could record myself.
Mhm.
And I saw like little ways that I could do it without having like the official equipment. So I would do it that way, record it onto my phone, and I would keep it for myself and hear how I sounded.
Mhm.
And that's how it pretty much started. Like I just did it off my phone and wanted to hear how I sounded, and then I used to send it to my friends. And of course, just starting out, you're not the best.
Mhm.
So people be like, "Oh, you suck. Oh, you're trash, garbage." Da, da, da."
I think we've all been there.
So yeah, every musician has been there at one point.
Absolutely,
Like
absolutely.
yeah. So after like a couple years go by, and I'm still making music over and over and over. Like now, people are just like, "Man, your music's amazing." Like I never thought I would hear such great quality in music because I believe quality is better than quantity. Quality is better for your music than putting a lot of music out, like rushing music out and putting it out to the world because people people don't want to keep listening to, like, for example, Chris Brown, right? He has an album that's called Indigo, and he has like 20 plus songs on there. Everybody is not going to listen to 20 plus songs on an album or 30 plus songs on an album.
No.
They want to hear a good amount of songs, like maybe like 10 to 12 songs that sound really good in quality, that were very well crafted, and they want to hear it. They want to hear that, and they want to
Mhm.
share it with their friends. Yo, have you heard this song? They want to be the first to, discover, quote unquote, that song and share it with friends.
Mhm.
And like I've always like tried to be in other people's standpoint of like how they view my music. You know what I mean? Like in their shoes, like, oh man, like maybe it's too much autotune, or oh man, maybe the beat's too hard, or oh man, I don't really like this type of style. So I try to make a style where everybody can just have fun, just
Mhm.
have fun. It's not no serious rap thing where it's like drill where, oh, I'm gonna kill somebody, oh, I'm gonna smash their girl. Like nah, nothing like that.
Mhm.
But like just something that's just fun for everybody to bop to and just have like just enjoy themselves, you know?
What would you say your biggest influences are, or favorite musicians that like go in, like that you can see like in your own music?
Kanye West, Tory Lanez, Little Uzi Vert.
I've heard the Little Uzi
Mm,
Vert, definitely.
yeah, and I mean Juice World. I really like Juice World. Rest in peace.
Rest in
Um,
power to that man.
yeah. Also XXX Tentacion. I really like his music because I like rock as well. I'm not just a one genre artist. Like I open my mind to a lot of different genres of
Mhm.
music. So when I heard his music, how he mixed punk rock and rap into one's genre of its own,
Mhm.
I loved it. And I was just like,
Oh.
oh man, like I love the hard distorted bass that gives it like a rock sense.
Mhm.
And he like kind of like
Yo, what is up, Rabbit?
screams.
Sorry. Thanks
Yeah,
for
he
the.
kind of like,
Yo, Rabbit, what up?
yo,
Thanks for the 100 biddies, bro. Thanks for stopping in. How you doing, brother? Talking about Huddy's influences here, cutting him off real quick. Okay.
It's
Back
all
at
good,
it.
bro.
Back to you, honey.
But
You
yeah,
can continue.
he kind of like screams on the beat, and I love the way that it sounds because his voice just fit it so perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like for that he was a genius because he didn't only like appeal to the rap culture, he appealed to the rock culture as well, which
Mm-hmm.
brought a lot of people who mainly listen to rock into his into like his world. You know what I'm saying? Like his music.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah, I
really
mean,
was.
I guess that's one thing you have to be really open-minded about when you're making music, that you just don't listen to only one genre.
No,
I
definitely
mean, a real
not.
musician has to be open-minded for every genre.
100%.
Right. Yeah.
That's
Yeah. And that's why I try to listen to different genres and hear out the different music that's out there and listen to other people's music. And I'm just like, yo, like this guy or this person, this girl is a genius for doing this.
mm-hmm.
There's
Yeah,
no
absolutely.
way.
Yeah.
Like, how did they implement such a like
Hank Williams Jr. is what Radar Rabbit said. That's
yeah,
is that like a country like artist like from like the 60s? I don't know. That
maybe
name sounds really familiar. Gonna have to look it up.
Yeah. Seems
yeah.
like it.
And I've always wanted to try out, if, like influence myself with X as far as like his punk rock and his like rap genre
Mm-hmm.
he made. And I was just like, damn man, I gotta try that.
Are you a fan
But
of
yeah,
Denzel Curry, buddy?
Denzel Curry. No, I haven't heard his
He's the
music.
one that like is like I am the one that one, like, you know that song?
Oh, that song, yeah, I
Yeah,
know that song.
that's Denzel Curry, or at least he's featured
I
on
think
there.
everybody knows that song.
Yeah, Denzel
Everybody
Curry.
knows that. That's one of those songs where you know the song, but you never will know the interpret.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the people on there. Denzel Curry goes very hard in songs, and he did a cover recently of "Bulls on Parade" by Rage Against the Machine,
Yo,
Oh, I
and
okay.
love that
Cool.
song.
and it's on. If you look it up, like a version is like the name of like the series.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, he breaks it down, does the whole song, and then during like the solo part, he just does a freestyle, just like raps over it, and it is so sick. I love too the idea of rock and rap like going and being like in like one genre. It it's very fitting, especially like for like more like because you could do both. You could have like softer rock like with like like being just like more like poetry and like lyrical like stuff for like rap, but then you could also go with like something like Rage Against the Machine or something heavier, and then you can get like really aggressive like other rappers like to get. So it's all about
Right.
like that like that sweet spot. But yeah, you definitely have to listen to like if you're a musician. I listen to everything. Obviously, you guys come in and see me play Os and other things like those songs, whatever. But like I'll listen to anything on the table, 100% of the time.
There we go.
Oh, you're upside down.
Hey, are you in Australia?
Nah,
No,
I'm
he's
upside
just,
down, man. I hate that.
yo, yeah, bro. Wait, is this Tanger Stings? The upside down?
No. Hold on.
Ooh.
Maybe we are the ones upside down.
Wait a second. Am I upside down yet? Oh, that hurt.
There we go.
There we go. Look at that.
I had to use my video off my camera on my phone.
There we go. Now we have all of our beautiful faces.
Now everybody can see that ugly boy isn't that ugly.
Exactly. Told you, right? Handsome man Huddy over here. Neither ugly
Handsome
nor a
boy.
boy.
Yeah, man. Like, there's a lot of different artists out here that try to follow the footsteps of like. So, do you guys know who the first people to implement rock and rap is?
Run DMC
Yeah.
and Aerosmith.
Aerosmith, yeah.
Yep.
Walk this way!
Yeah. And I love that. I love that song. That
So-
song is amazing.
Yeah, that song smacks, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. It's old, but hey,
Absolutely does.
I feel like music has no expiration date.
No.
No,
That's
absolutely
that's
not.
like the type of stuff where people are like, oh, that's an old song. That's an old song. I'm like, well, obviously you're not open minded enough to be able to listen to an old song and still get the feeling of it being new. You know?
I
like
agree with
loving
that.
that song. You can love a song that's from the 80s, the 50s even,
Mhm.
and it still be good.
I was listening to classical last week. I was listening to the 1800s. So,
Yeah,
music has been being made pretty much the whole time that we've been able to actually use our hands. So, you know, like
right.
there's a lot of it. Go back. I'm sure that there's something you somehow like that like was like from like the 17 or 1800s that got like used into like today's like music. I bet you. Like,
Yeah, like jazz
yeah,
and what's that other like scat
Jazz is
music?
amazing.
Yes,
scat music.
jazz is amazing. Like if you have you guys ever played Cuphead?
I've never played it, but I'm a big
I've
fan of
watched
jazz.
somebody play it.
It's like 1920s style, right? Like 1930s.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but the
It's
and
like
music is just awesome. Yeah,
yeah.
the music is great because it's all jazz
absolutely.
music.
Mhm.
It's all jazz music, and it's so amazing. Like I love, like I even have a playlist downloaded on my phone. I listen to it. It's
Mhm.
good music. So like, just like that example, I listen to rock music, like old rock music, like 70s, 80s, 90s. You name it. I listen to all of it.
Mhm. Yeah, me and
So
Styles were talking about Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath before, talking about that early '70s rock metal.
yeah, Led Zeppelin was really good. I love Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, a lot of people love Led Zeppelin. They made a lot of good
Yeah,
music.
They were ahead of their time as well, man.
Yeah.
They were really influential on a lot of people, I think.
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I would agree with that. I would say that that is definitely true.
Yeah, like I'd say with certain cultures there were certain like I say back then, early 1900s, there were certain cultures with certain music genres. Like you had African Americans with jazz, and then you had like Caucasian or any other race. Like they had their certain genres that they really particularly liked, and then they implemented some of that, or they created new ones based off of a certain genre. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? They have stuff like that. Like I really like that too.
Then you
That
had
was dope.
Elvis, who
Yeah,
stole from
Elvis.
the African Americans.
Yeah, I mean,
Elvis
blue.
was dope though.
Yeah, true.
Elvis was dope. He was cool. Like the rock and roll that he created was dope.
Yeah,
And then you
people.
got Michael Jackson who did pop.
King of Pop.
Yeah. Yeah. Michael
Absolutely.
Jackson
King
was
of
amazing.
Pop.
The
Too
man
bad
that transitioned from black to white. Yeah,
they
the
made a
man
song
without a
about
color.
yeah, and then he made a song about it doesn't matter if you're black or white.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
that is.
and he
Yeah.
lived it.
That
Yeah,
is.
he didn't care, man. He was a great guy.
Yeah, Michael Jackson. Rip. I remember walking to my friend's house, and then when I got to my friend's house about the day he died, that his mom like freaked out like because he died. I was like, oh. I went home. I just was like not dealing with it. I was like, why is your mom a mess? She doesn't even know Michael Jackson personally.
Yeah, because Michael Jackson had a huge influence on people and a huge impact. And that's why I love music
Absolutely.
because like subconsciously you pick up the things that people put out on their music, whether you like it or not. Subconsciously, you're intaking that music,
Mhm.
right? So like when I had a rough time when I was a kid, so like I would express those feelings on music on a platform,
Mhm.
and I felt like it was such an easy way to get to people, so then they understand who I am and what I have went through. So
Mhm.
it was easy for me to express myself. So I think that's like the main reason why I did music, you know.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's a lot of people's reason, I think,
Yeah.
to finally get a voice. I'd say,
Yeah.
Mhm.
because a lot of people just grow up without a voice, and they're pushed and pulled and are pretty much made
Edible?
into
Yeah.
what they pretty much aren't.
Okay.
And yeah, music is a big
Everybody
weapon
should have a
against that,
grandmother
I'd
like
say.
you have.
Oh, I know.
You
Yeah,
think
it
they got
is.
'em?
It's
Huh?
very
Uh huh.
influential. That's one
I
of the
love
most
you.
influential
I
things
love
on
you
the
too.
planet right now.
Yeah,
Like music,
Mhm.
very
absolutely.
influential.
And it's unifying. It's a big unifying thing that brings a lot of people together. I mean, I've been to a few festivals now, and there's pretty much always only love on those festivals, and there are the biggest metal guys and the longest hair and the roughest dudes. And once one of them guys of the smaller dudes just drops in the mosh pit or whatever, everybody just
Pick 'em
stops
up.
and helps him up, and then it goes on.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that culture. I really dig it.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah.
very important. I've going to many local shows and going and being part of the punk scene specifically. You see a lot of people fall down, and see a lot of people pick them back up again. Because if you fall back down, I'm gonna pick you back up again. Always. So, but there's other times you got those people who are always in the crowd that are always looking to start a fight and like be like a rebel rouser and not help anyone or like
No, of
decide to
course.
like act like like I don't like those people that go into the pit because they're like I get to hurt somebody now. Get out of my show. Get like don't do that. That's not what you want to do. What just happened? Oh, bits.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a new noise. What is that noise? That's because I'm using the styles layout.
Yeah,
got
dude.
different, got different sounds for me.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's what Stream Element does. Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
bro.
cool site.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I went onto own.tv and grabbed all my stuff, like the emotes, the overlays, the different music, because I thought it was dope how they had like EDM music and rock music, like little tiny shorts, like little clips of music on there that I was choosing from, and I chose different ones for each notification. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, it sounds cool, man. Sounds cool.
EDM. I wish I knew about EDM so we could talk about EDM, but I don't.
Yeah, like I think my favorite EDM artist is probably Steve Aoki.
Oh well, that's probably the only one I know, if that counts. I know all those like remixes and stuff that he does.
Yeah, like when he implemented EDM and rap together, and I was just like, oh my gosh! Like he had one song with Lil Uzi Vert. It was called "Been Ballin'." If you guys ever heard of that?
No, I haven't heard that one specifically.
Certainly not. No.
Yeah, it's really dope. He has like a whole album, like it's so dope, where he has different rappers, different artists that just do EDM music with him, and they rap over it. And I'm like, how do you do that? How do you make that sound good? Like it has to be really particular. He's like really particular with his stuff. He's a DJ as well. He visits different clubs out here in San Diego too. So I was trying to go see him, but everything that's happening right now, it's kind of hard.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long time until.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too, man. I think so too.
It's gonna be like at least probably another year, right? Roughly, I'd imagine, until we can like actually go to concerts safely. To go out
Halfway
to a place.
normally, yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, especially as we were talking about musicians. I do not play out anymore, so that doesn't affect me nearly as much. But I know that when I did, if this was happening during that time, it would be really hard to deal with that. So I feel bad for anybody who is a actual like gigging musician that has to deal with the frustration of trying to find how they're gonna make their money during this quarantine, how they're gonna make their
Yeah, that
livelihood.
sucks, man. That sucks. If you make a living with music, you have a hard time right now. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Like tours, going to see other people, going to conventions, doing all that stuff, getting yourself out there. It's gonna be hard, especially with all the stuff that's going on. So like, that's why I'm right now. I think I'm just writing. So when the day comes when I can like go out again and go to studios and record, I'll have that material.
I think that's what a lot of people actually do right now.
Yeah.
Just setting up and collecting stuff and just
Makes sense.
putting up everything that they can in that stupid time now.
Yeah, I wanted to break out my keyboard, but it's broken. Not even my normal keyboard. My other actual music keyboard's also broken, by the way. So both of my keyboards
Enemy
are
of
broken.
keyboards.
Yes, exactly.
Breaker of keyboards.
Yeah, I wanted to write a nice little cute little ditty on the keyboard, but whatever. Don't get to do that for another like month or so until I have the money to buy one. Oh,
Yeah. It's all
darn.
good. MIDI keyboards are dope, man. They're so easy to operate, like programs such as like FL Studios, Logic Pro X, whatever program you use to make music. Like MIDI keyboards are amazing to have. They're so convenient.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like
I mean,
even-
I bought a machine like 1.5 or 2 years ago, and that thing's just awesome as well. You
Yeah.
can also use it as a kind of MIDI keyboard, like if you open up the channels, and it's a fun thing to have.
You bought like a drum
Yeah,
machine?
Huh?
You said like a drum machine or is a keyboard?
No, it's called Machine.
Machine.
It's
called
from
Machine.
Native Instrument. Yeah, I mean it kind of works as a drum machine. It's pretty much a sampler and
Okay.
kind of a synthesizer in some modes, and yeah, it's just amazing how much stuff you can do with that. You can actually produce whole songs with that.
Oh.
Oh
That's,
wow.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
I can
Yeah.
that's really neat.
use myself, and that's about it. I had to make all the music myself. So
Yeah,
teach
like
me.
I'm still trying to learn how to make beats. I'm not really the greatest, but I can make like little simple beats on FL Studios because like that's the program I have right now.
Mhm.
But that's like the only thing I can do as far as like using a keyboard, using some type of device to create music other than a microphone. You know, that's easy. You just record and then you just edit your voice. That's easy.
Yeah.
But like when it comes to the hard stuff, like mixing and mastering, the beat itself it's hard to me. Like,
Yeah.
but you know, I learn more and more every day. YouTube.
Sure. You can learn
Yeah.
anything.
I mean,
off
we're
of the
we're
internet.
pretty much living in the best time for something like that.
Yeah,
You can teach yourself anything these days.
Yeah.
If you actually put the time into it and try and then learn from your mistakes, you can master anything just off of looking at the internet.
Absolutely.
yeah,
Like go right ahead right now, look up a video on how to make a really nice steak. Guess what? Practice that for the next like month. Bet you're gonna be making a really good steak. Bet you by the end of the quarantine you could go out to a restaurant and be like, yo, I could cook for you. I'll be your chef. And they'll be like, do you have any experience? And you're like, no. And it's like, I've been at home.
I
just-
had YouTube.
Yeah, and they're like, what do you, no. And then you go and you do it and you impress them because you decided to take the time. Could do that with anything, not just cooking, mixing and mastering. I don't know nothing about that process. I just play the instruments.
yeah. It takes time, and like I said, quality over quantity, man. Like if you want good quality music, take your time. Be picky. Don't settle, man. I've never once settled for something that was less than what I expected because if I feel as though a project like a musical project isn't going my way like how I want it, then I will scrap it or I'll take whatever idea I had, like whatever I did for that, and make it into a brand new idea and make it better. You know, I'll try to refrain from scrapping, but sometimes it's just like, dang, this is so bad. Like I'm gonna scrap it and just take that idea of that and like make it into something better. You know?
Sometimes you gotta toss shit out. That's just the way
Yeah.
it works.
Yeah, for real.
I've
Jeez.
had that stuff like for 100 times. I mean, I have Evernote on my phone, and I pretty much write down every thought I have that might sound cool as a song. And Jesus, I'm going through. I've pretty much developed the habit to just go through every month and look through the songs and say, okay, that's bullshit. We can delete that. That's good. That can stay. That's bullshit. We'll delete that, and just to keep it a little slimmer. And that works pretty much out for me.
Yeah.
So
That's
like,
dope, man.
talking about the writing process and everything, I'm gonna start with asking Putty, what is the easiest part to write for you when you're making a song? Like what's the thing that comes first most of the time to you?
The chorus.
Okay, the chorus.
The chorus, because like choruses are so easy to make. So a chorus could be one word. Like look at the Migos, right? You guys have ever heard of the Migos?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like yeah, their choruses, most of their songs, like from like 2011 to 2013, 2014, one word. Hannah Montana, Hannah Montana, Hannah Montana. You know, Versace. It's so easy. So
Okay.
easy to do. And like I try to stray away from stealing other people's like thing or ideas.
Makes sense. Don't want to
Like-
plagiarize anyone.
Yeah, you want to be original. Like I think that's the most important part of being a musician is being original, and people knowing who you are. Like when they hear you on the radio, you're like, oh, that's Huddy, or oh, that's Papa Doodle, or
I
oh,
wish.
that's Styles. Like you know, like you want people to know your specific sound.
Yeah, definitely.
Styles, what up?
Okay,
Yeah.
so the chorus is the easiest.
I mean, but that's the same thing for streaming. I think
Yeah.
that's exactly the same thing we're doing right here. Because if you are yourself and you can sell yourself a little, then you're pretty much set for streaming.
Right, because I mean, if you look at most small streamers, you will see that they're all the same. Like when they see somebody on their chat, they're just like, "Oh, what's up, man? You know, talk to me, blah blah blah." Like there's different people. There's people who do different things for like chat, or there's different things they do for certain donations. Like I've seen where people have their donations up in their screen, like their alerts, and then it reads it out to them and to the audience, and then they respond to that, like depending on a certain type of amount of money. You know, it's pretty dope. So I think being original is very important when it comes to branding yourself. Yeah,
I would agree with that.
definitely important.
Don't want to. Yeah, definitely want to be original. 100%. You want to be genuine, 100% of the time, or as close as you can be anyway. While you're, because right, we're supposed to be entertainers as musicians and as streamers, because that's also what we do.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, you know, you get what you get. I would say that we're all pretty much exactly who we are on stream and right now, but you know, I would say take away like 90% of the things that you see on stream, because sometimes we had to act a little bit not ourselves to make it more fun, right? And that's how it was on when I used to play in front of people. I definitely don't act the same on stage as I do off stage. You definitely you definitely have a different like
you have to have a stage persona, pretty much. I say.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, that's why Slipknot, for example, put on the masks. Like that just gives them that persona, you know. You have the mask on, and in that moment where you put the mask on, you know, okay, I'm in stage mode now. And they've talked about that, and I guess a mask isn't really a bad thing to have for that, because that just puts you into the mood right away, and it says, okay, now you're going on that stage, and now it's band time, you know. It's not me time, it's band time. So.
I've done that. I used to play in a band where we used to dress up in overalls and coveralls and hockey masks, because we used to do like hardcore punk, and so like I used to play drums with the hockey mask and everything. And I'll tell you that I also definitely I definitely acted slightly different in that band than I did my other band, just like due to like how it was supposed to be, like being like a hardcore like slasher punk band.
I mean, you gotta live the character.
Exactly.
That's just the way it has to be.
My terrifying stature of 5'9". Wow, that's a really average sized killer over there. But so I want to ask Styles, because also you write music, and you said that before you were talking about that song that you really enjoyed writing, that's one of your favorites. What is the easiest part for you when writing? Like, what is the first thing that you go to?
I normally try to write a riff first, like setting up a bass riff or a guitar riff.
Okay.
Just to get the all around sound up, and know kind of in which direction I'm going. Because I mean, I can write a text and it'll be the greatest love song ever, and then I have a guitar riff that's like the hardest fucking asshole song ever, and that just doesn't really match up. So I always start with the music, and then I'll start up the lyrics.
Okay.
Because that just comes more natural to me, I'd say.
Yeah. That
makes sense.
I think as like, so like, obviously, Styles, you say that you sing, but you also play instruments. I play instruments, and I don't really write. And Huddy raps and produces. So for him, it's a chorus. For you, it starts with the guitar and working from there. So it's very interesting to see how, like, because I play instruments, so I'm not a very good writer, so I do the same thing. Like, I usually, if I sit down at the kit and, like, I'm playing with my friend Mike, then I usually will also start with, like, just the, either he'll have an idea or he'll tell me to play something, and it, like, we'll just be like, okay, so you want this? You know, like, I'll just, like, play that, and then, like, we'll work it from there. It's like, so for, I guess, you know, I'm just saying, for me, the easiest part is none of it. That's what I have to say about writing music, is that the easiest part of it for me would probably be none of it, because I play the instruments and we'll get something down, but composing music is very hard to do. So it is. So I just think, I guess, I don't know. I guess the easiest part would be none of it. Let's say none of it for me. That's it. That's my answer. That's what we got. Let's see. What to topic about now? We actually have done pretty well, by the way. Haven't mentioned the time since we're an hour and 40 minutes in.
Absolutely.
So
I mean, with the 10 minutes off.
That's right. I
startup
forgot.
screen.
I forgot. Oh no, we're an hour and a half in. Oh no, I looked at the time and I was like, yeah, we're doing really good with all this talking, and oh no, now there's 30 more minutes. Okay.
I mean, thing to talk about would be how you interact with music, you know.
Okay.
Because a lot of people are really dancey and really love to get their groove on. A lot of people just chill in the corner and listen to the music, listen to the beat, let that get to your heart, like stuff like that, you know.
So
it's always interesting to see how people interpret the music into their bodily feels, I'd say. You can say that.
So
yeah, I would think the hardest part for any musician to get past is accepting their music themselves, like liking their music, them themselves liking their music. Because like I've heard of a lot of musicians being like, man, like they'll show me their song and I'm like, oh man, like dope, I'll check it out. And then when they're showing me their song, they're like downplaying their music. I'm like, dude, don't do that. Like if you're downplaying your music while you're showing somebody else your music, they don't see any confidence in you, so then they're not gonna be confident in you. If that makes sense, like that energy is passed on to your audience. If you're not confident in your music, that energy is passed on, and then nobody's gonna really take you seriously.
Yeah,
I think that's like the hardest part for most musicians.
Because you're trying to sell your product.
Right.
And if you're not, if you're selling your product and saying, oh man, you know, like if it's okay, you know, listen to it and maybe you'll like it. No, you're supposed to be like, hey, so like, hear me out. This right here, best track you're gonna hear all day, okay?
Yeah.
And then you put that on play. You put it at 80% volume because you don't want it to be too loud, but you blast that shit, and then you're like, this is it, and then you bop to it. Like I get that, and I think the reason it's also hard though, that like, because I agree, musicians do that. I know people that have done it. I do it with my own music occasionally. You've heard it so much, right? Like, once you record it, you've definitely played that song so many times.
Oh, Jesus, yes.
That you hear it so much that you're fatigued from it. And you don't understand its value anymore. So even if it was the best song, you still think it's trash because you've heard it a billion times. And you're like, there's nothing original about this anymore. There's nothing interesting. There's nothing captivating. But that's because you have sat behind a microphone, you have sat in the studio, and you have played this song until you play it perfectly. And that is not something that's easy to do, so you have to do it again and again.
Another problem with that is also you were there for all the mistakes.
Yeah.
You know? That's another thing. You're like going through so many versions of that song, because I mean, when we were in the studio, it was like, what did we book it for? We recorded one song, I think, in 3 days. And you're just sitting there from the morning till afternoon till maybe the night. Like we sat in the studio sometimes like around 12 hours
Mm-hmm.
and just make sense of the drums, because our drummer is really like sissy when it comes to recording. He's like,
Okay.
man, I don't know, that drum mic is like 1 millimeter too far to the left, that doesn't sound right, and blah blah blah. And it was like, oh man, just get it together, dude. You're hitting stuff with sticks.
Hey,
Chill out, dude.
hey. First of all, the complaint
No,
about
it's
the
a- no, it's
microphone
fine.
being slightly out of place makes it out of phase, which means that the sound of it is going to be off and it's not going to get the same frequencies that it would normally. So you need it to be equidistant depending on the mic setup that you have. So, just saying, he's right.
He might be. I mean,
I learned a lot about this when recording the album that I recorded, so.
Yeah.
yeah, of course, sure, I get it.
No, but
but
big sissy.
you know,
got
you're,
it.
you're looking at. I mean, I was there every day, because the others said, man, I don't want to be there when the drums are recorded, or I don't want to be there when the bass is recorded, or whatever.
Mhm.
I said I want to go through the whole experience. I want to see how everybody else does. I
Mhm.
want to be giving feedback. I wouldn't be there. Done. And you just see so many iterations of the song before it actually is finished, because the producer we had was also in a band, and he was a cool guy. He was a little dude, and he had the studio built into an old factory building, kinda.
That's
And
sick.
it was really cool. And he was like, man, let's try this, man, let's try that, man, let's try this, man, let's do another take of this, let's do another take of this, let's do another take of this. Oh wait, do you know what, let's take another take of this. And it was like, oh man, do you really want to, I don't want to do this anymore. Please just
Yeah.
leave me alone, leave me be. But in the end, it was really cool to have all those versions of that particular part. And out of those pieces, you can just build the perfect song. And then that song is fucking perfect, but you know all the other versions that didn't make the cut.
Mhm.
And that's why you really hate that song in the end, because you know how shitty that song used to sound before, and that's why you're like listening to that shitty version in your head, but everybody else listens to the good version out of the stereo.
Mhm. Yeah, I could definitely understand that too. That definitely that definitely has a factor to it when you downplay your own music, because
Yeah.
you know
Many
all of the
factors.
all of the parts that went wrong in the recording process as well. So
Cause you'll never catch me sending a link to somebody and like, hey man, you might like this. No, I'll be like, hey man, like check out this check out this song. Like it's not no normal SoundCloud shit. It's some Apple Music, Spotify, Google Play. It's all that. It's on YouTube. It's great quality. Like it won't feel like your ears are being raped. I promise.
I
Like,
listened to it on Spotify, and I really dig your music, man.
yeah, bro.
It's really
yeah,
cool.
I
great
remember
quality.
I was like, yo, who is this Huddy guy? Like when we first started talking, because like,
Yeah.
you know, he's all nice and charismatic, and like he then sends like on top of the Discord, he's like, yo, I also like rap and I listen to it. I'm like, yo, this guy's
Yeah.
really good. I was like, who is Huddy?
Fucking world star over here.
Well,
And I was like, this guy's not famous. This doesn't make any sense to me. Like straight up, like I just was like, wait a second, huh? Because like I really dug what I listened to when you sent me your songs. I haven't listened to it in
Yeah.
a bit, but that's because I haven't been listening to as much music as I should be as a musician. Because I've been playing way too many video games.
yeah, same. I've been playing a lot of
And
video
it's like,
games
yo,
lately.
my Spotify doesn't even get any love anymore. I feel really bad. I'm like, oh no, dude, what happened? I probably listened to like 3 hours of music like in the past week, and that actually makes me want to talk about another topic as we go on, because you were talking, Stas, about, you said like how people interact with music, right? So I'm curious as to how you guys like listen to music. So I listen to full albums most of the time. Like I listen to playlists and stuff like that, but I'll just put on an album. Like I'll put on the first song and then let it play to the last song. That's how I listen to my music primarily. So
Yeah.
styles? How do you like? Do you like do singles, playlists? Do you put out an album? Like
I'm
just
kind of
artists?
chaotic when it comes to that. I'm like really chaotic when it comes to that. Like I'm listening to one song. Sometimes I even skip parts of that song. Sometimes I even skip from that song to another song. And most of the times I don't really listen to albums except for if it's really new, like a new Slipknot album or something like that. I'll listen through that, but I will have my favorites, and those are pretty much the ones that'll be my favorites, and all the others will not be listened to again before a while has been gone over.
Okay.
Like and then I'll try again and put that whole album again on play and see if I maybe like that in that particular part of my life.
Uh huh.
And yeah, that's just how I do it.
Yeah. So you kind of like listen to singles or whatever you feel like, but you'll scrub an album to find new music that you enjoy.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. That's like definitely like chaotic would be the way that I would put it. You put it in a good way.
Yeah, I'd say so, man.
Chaotic.
What about you, Huddy? What is your best way? Like, what do you enjoy to get that good old music stuff in your ears?
So what I do, right? So it depends. It depends. Like if I already know the artist, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I already know the songs, I'll play through certain songs that I like in the album. Now if it's a new album, just like Styles, I'll play through the whole entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'll play through the whole entire album and I'll pick which songs I specifically like, or you have some albums you really like. So the whole album is very rare for me, but the whole album I like Drake albums for example. I like most of Drake's album.
Mm-hmm.
Like Take Care was good, Nothing Was the Same was good. I can listen to that whole entire album without skipping, and I know all the words to every song because it's so good. Like I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So it really depends on the artist and like who I favor. I know it's like bias, but it is what it is. Music itself is just like bias.
What up,
Like
Cole?
it depends on who you like and who you don't like. Like I'll never listen to like NBA YoungBoy's album or anybody like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never listen to that, but I'll listen to like Drake. I'll listen to Trey songs, Tory Lanez. People like that. I listen to them. I listen to their whole album, and I'm like, dang, this is a good album. Where I'm like, they could have done better.
What about Chance?
Chance the Rapper?
Yeah, acid rapper,
last-
soccer, hacky sacker, cocky, khaki jacker. Ball, ball.
Yeah, like his acid rap album was really good, really good. And then like the new album, The Big Day, I think it was called.
Yes, The Big Day.
I didn't really like it all that much.
No one
I didn't
liked
really
it.
like it.
No one liked it. What the? I don't get it, bro.
Yeah.
I love it. I personally think it's a bop. I think that people are missing out on Ballin' Flossin'. That song
I
is...
heard that.
That one's really good. The self-titled track, The Big Day, is fantastic.
Yeah.
Rue, with his brother, fantastic song. Him and Tyler Bennett. Tyler's such a talented person, and I deserves way more credit than he gets. But got it. So that is interesting to know how you listen to music. So Saz, you never listen to a full album, really? Like that doesn't really happen to you, like?
It
No.
absolutely does. It
Oh, okay,
absolutely
it does.
does. I mean, like I said, the new Slipknot album went like up and down a few times.
Mm-hmm.
There are a few bands where I'm really a fan of a whole album even. Like Queens of the Stone Age, for example.
Your
I'll
favorite
listen
band?
to
True.
almost every album without skipping one song.
Yeah.
They're all cool.
I'm definitely the same.
But I
way
mean,
with my
there are a
favorite
lot of
artists.
like Huddy said before. There are a lot of interprets that just put so many songs on the album that you can't really like every song. Like
Uh-huh.
when there are 20 songs on an album, I can guarantee you that I won't like half of them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm trying
That's just the way it is.
trying to remember an artist that I like did that somewhat recently, and I just can't remember who it was right now. But yeah, when you get to the point, it's not even like about, because how are you supposed to release an hour plus of good music, right? Quantity wise.
True.
Like
True.
you can't
Exactly.
you can't expect to release a 20-track album and one for all of them for all people to like all of those songs is like whatever. Like
Yeah.
sure you can make we're musicians. We make music for ourselves too. And that's fine to do. But I think that a lot of the time when someone releases a 20+ track album, that's probably not why they're doing it though. They're probably like you would write, yeah, exactly, like money, like the cashish. So yeah, I definitely agree. Quality over quantity, like every time. You always want to have the best product over a lot of product.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, I can understand the music industry as well, because, I mean, the more product, the more you have to pay for it. I guess that's pretty much their mentality about it.
True.
And when you're like selling an album with like 10 songs, you can't put the same price tag on it when you're selling an album with 20 songs or something, you know. So
Right.
I get where they're coming from, but it's a stupid interpretation of a good thing, I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Like if I ever like, so the whole music industry in a whole is a business and it's an investment. Like when you put in, say, I don't know, $1,000, right, into an album, you're expecting to get at least $1,001 to get it, like some type of investment where you made more money off of the money you spent.
Yeah.
So like,
Absolutely.
yeah, so that's a
I mean,
big,
that's the idea of every business, pretty much. I mean, the movie
Yeah.
industry does it do it that
How
way.
do I say that?
How
do I say that name? Oh God. I don't want to butcher. Thank you for the follow. Bascasina? I don't know how to say that.
Casino Musician.
Yeah, I guess so. That's almost pretty much what I was about to be able to try to say. Thank you for the follow, and thank you for stopping in. We appreciate you. Welcome to the LiftOff Podcast. We have about like 20 more minutes, just about.
20-ish minutes.
20-ish minutes. We still have a decent amount of talking left to do. But anyway, sorry. What was my brain has gone ablaze, and I have forgotten everything.
Like,
Oh,
so,
we're at making money with music and movies and stuff like that.
Making money with music.
So yeah, I mean, you got to break that margin. If you spend more than you earn with it, then I guess that's a bad deal.
Yes.
Because I mean, you can trade a $10 bill for a $100 bill, and that's a pretty sweet deal. But you can do it the other way around, and you're fucked.
Yeah. Rip Carbon Thief.
yeah.
Yeah, see, my band just spent a whole bunch of money on our stuff, and that was it. We just were like, okay, we spent the money to get it the album produced. Let's never sell any of it. It's okay. We're a hidden gem. It's fine. We'll just be one of those bands. My band is like the bands that I like, which has one album, made decent music, no one knows who they are, and now they're gone.
And
That's
then
it.
they're fucked off. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
That's always a good thing.
Like,
Absolutely.
like unfortunately, and my band went into that category, and that's okay, because you know what? In like 10 years, somehow someone's gonna find it, and they're gonna be like, "Do they have more?" We're not gonna have any more music, and they're gonna be like, "I guess I'll just have to listen to this album for the rest of my life." And I get to know that is my band, that someone gets to do that to, and that's more than enough.
I love
for
that
me.
idea. I love that idea. Absolutely.
I think for me, even if I was to never get like some type of notoriety, I think right now I have a solid fan base for my music and what I put out, like my content, and they know what type of style that I styles that I put out, like that I put out. So like, I think I'm never gonna stop making music, even if I wasn't ever get notoriety. I just love doing it. It's fun. It's a fun thing to do, especially with friends and getting them involved. Like it's very fun. I like it personally.
And the smell of a recording studio is just a smell that you won't ever smell if you're not a musician in a recording studio.
Yeah, I've never been in a recording studio. When we recorded the Intellect
Be grateful for that. Be grateful for that.
When we recorded
I
Intellect
can tell you, after 12 hours of recording time, you don't want to be in there.
Yeah, we just literally recorded in my friend's cabin upstate from here. Like, we just, like, set up shop in there. We just had, like, some soundproof panels that we made, and, like, just, like, put ourselves in separate parts of the room and everything. And, like, that's what we did. That's, like, that was my recording process. We put a sock on the microphone as a pop filter.
Oh man, shit, whatever
Word.
works.
Yo,
professional here.
I mean, hey, I don't know how much you guys have really, like, listened to my album, but, like, it surprisingly sounds okay with what we did. But yeah, whatever works is what you gotta do.
I mean, if it works, it ain't stupid, so...
Yeah,
You go.
Exactly. So, for y'all at home that are looking to record vocals, if you don't have a pop filter, you can put a sock over it, and it'll do the job.
Cole actually asked if you don't have any future plans for a future album.
Do I have any plans for a future album? You know, it'll happen. It's just, it's been in such the works for a long time. Intellect Me was recorded started getting recorded a day after my 21st birthday. That was 4 years ago. After we recorded it, it took a year and a half to put out, which was, the anniversary is actually going to be in 2 days. It came out July 13th, 2018. But yeah, no. It probably will be like another 3 years until you get a full album that has me as a drummer or other music on it, Cole. You know that now. It's going to be a while. Wait for that day.
Wait for that day.
It'll be a 20-track album.
Oh, perfect. For making that ka-ching, man.
Yeah, exactly. I'll
All about that ka-ching.
$1 a song, $20 album. Joking. It'll be It'll be name your own price.
I'd give you 25 for it.
25. Look at that. Styles is such a gentleman.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right. We're in the last stretch here. Last stretch, and we'll start talking about that. How we also interact with music. So I enjoy when I'm. No, I just enjoy dancing. I like dancing, especially live when I'm at a concert. Like, I'll either be in the pit, I'll be doing some form of dancing. I don't have to be inebriated. Drinking helps. Everyone will agree with that. We know that
Absolutely.
the inhibitions go out the window. You know, feel the rain on your skin. But that's mine. You'll see me doing that. I got no flow. I'm whatever. But that's what I do. Were you in the corner kind of guy, Styles? Because you don't seem like it.
It depends. I mean, if I have smoked some weed, I am. I sat in my favorite bar or / disco on the bar stool and watched the lights go off for like 2 hours. I was like, oh my god, wow, look at those lights, man. Wow, man. They must be really expensive, those lights. Oh, look at those lights, man. Wow. On other nights when I've been drinking, I mean, it depends on what I'm drinking, because if I'm drinking absinthe, you can just forget that night, because that's just
Wish we
gone
could get that in the States.
forever, and nobody can ever get it back.
just-
I mean, if you're normally drinking like drinking to a fun level, I'd say I'm more of a dancer as well. Yeah.
Honey
Absolutely.
definitely
I
gets
mean,
into
on
it good than
festivals, obviously you'll have to dance because you're in the middle of the crowd. So if the mosh pit opens up around you, you have to be in the mosh pit. Done.
that.
And yeah, that's what I would say about that. Sure,
Okay.
I'm a dancer, not a good dancer, but I'm a dancer.
I can dance okay. Like with my music, I say if I hear music in the club or something and I'm at the club, like I'm that type of guy where I have to give energy, and I feel like, especially if I'm performing, like I've
That's
performed
very
before,
cool,
and
Cole,
I'll
by the
dance to
way.
my own music, so then everybody's like, "Yo, this is a bop!" Like that. Like
That's
I said,
awesome. I
energy
wanna
can be
talk more
transmitted.
about
That's
that.
like the simple scientific thing. Like energy is given. You feel that energy. You want to give out that energy that's given to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you watch a sad movie, right, you're gonna feel sad. Then everybody else around you is gonna feel sad.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
That makes sense.
So if I'm like listening to hype music and I'm hype, everybody else is gonna get hype. That's kind of like how I think. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's simple, but it it works.
Yeah.
Like I performed the strong song here in not Japan, fuck, San Diego, and I performed that. It was at this little group that they have where a lot of people just express themselves, and like they do poetry, they do skits, they do rapping, they'll freestyle, they'll show off videos that they created, and I was up, so I just was like, okay, I gotta give that energy. Like, so have you guys ever seen Travis Scott perform at all?
I never watched any live videos, but I can imagine.
Yeah, he's extremely hype. Like, everybody in his like concert is hype
Mm-hmm.
to the people where we're gonna skip the part that people overdose at his concerts and, and stuff like that. But yeah,
Super
like
duper hype.
yeah, way too hype.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But yeah, like I'm talking as like they're dancing, they're having fun, they're screaming, they're yelling, they want more. That's how I want my concerts to be like, except for the overdosing. Like I kind of want to deal with that.
Yeah, that's always bad PR.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All PR is good PR. What are you
All
talking
PR is
about?
good PR, right?
Exactly.
that's the other way to see it.
I've seen Wolf of Wall Street.
Absolutely, good movie.
One of my favorites. I love Leonardo DiCaprio. Great actor.
He is a great actor.
I think we should do a movie podcast at some point.
we could.
Yeah.
That'd be-
I've seen
that'd be fun
enough
as well.
movies to talk about movies for 2 hours.
Yeah, sure. I mean, that might be a thing for the next one, or the next one after the next one, or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
Eventually.
I'm looking forward to get those 3 digits full, because I actually left in the YouTube video. You see 001, and I absolutely want to get those 3 numbers in there.
You want
so,
you want it to be you want a LiftOff Podcast 100.
absolutely.
Okay, well then we're
And
gonna.
there's no stopping at 100, man.
Okay, well I'm just saying that theoretically speaking, numbers, maths, talking about maths real quick. We've done
Right.
it. So we've so far done once a week, which means it would take 2 years, roughly, to get what you want. Which means we had to do it. We had to do this for a while, and we had to start doing them way more often.
No, man, we'll do it for a while. I'd say.
Okay, you
I,
heard
mean,
it.
I really dig the company. So
Get
yeah.
hyped for LiftOff Podcast number 100 coming to you in 98 weeks. Get the countdown ready, guys.
Easy.
All right.
Hopefully I'll almost be out of the Navy by then.
Oh yeah.
See, I
In
mean,
the
it'll be
Navy,
interesting to
the
see
sail
where
the seven
everybody's
seas
life has
in
led.
the Navy.
Right.
True.
And that's always a cool thing too. I mean, I really wanted to do something like that for a long time, where you just document. I mean, you're documenting your life. You're documenting yourself. You're documenting your current standpoint in life,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just cool.
And the
Those are
interaction.
cool little timestamps that pretty much show a whole development of, like you said, 2 years. You know, it's cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I dig it.
Yeah, that's a while from now. Don't. Can't
And I
think
mean,
of
as far as I see it, if we keep it fresh, like with fresh people on the podcast, like every week, or doing different topics every week, I think there is no problem in filling 100 podcasts.
Oh, you're definitely right. We're gonna blow the popsicle stand off this joint. Wait a second, that's not the phrase.
Boom. Boom.
Okay, so.
So I'm a big fan of Rooster Teeth. I don't know if you know those guys.
Yeah.
They're the
the
ones.
cartoon.
Yeah.
They made Red versus Blue and
Yes.
blew up with it, and they're also achievement hunters and whatever.
Yeah.
So they have a podcast going. Let me see which number they have in their podcast. So the most current one. It was
392.
604.
Damn.
I was off.
So 100 shouldn't be that hard.
Well, I mean, Styles, if you say it can't be that hard, then it can't be that hard.
It won't be that hard.
Okay, it
believe
won't
me.
be that hard.
I
Brought
have
to you
big
here,
plans
folks.
for this.
Alrighty. Sounds bueno.
Sounds good. Can't wait to see where it leads.
So,
Absolutely. I'm
So
looking forward to it, man.
Is this around the time that we do some sign-offs?
Where
You want to talk
we
about
hit
some
the time mark.
last
We hit the time mark.
subjects? Anyone want to just say anything? Last couple
I
minutes.
feel like music overall, it's just a great thing. It's influential. It's like one of the biggest influences in the world. Like even when it comes down to like the biggest people, like you have President Trump. I'm pretty sure he listens to his favorite album. You have the Pope or whoever is in charge of a country. They listen to their favorite music.
I never
So,
thought
like, it's
about
a
the Pope
very-
listening to music.
Yeah.
Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. In the Pope Mobile.
Yeah, oh yeah. Gucci gang, Gucci
Like
gang, Gucci gang.
it's the hugest influence in the world right now, and like I feel like it's very important that artists should understand that when they're making music that they should be very confident in their music, because if they're not confident and they're giving off that negative energy, then people are going to be negative about it.
Mhm.
So the worst they can be like is I don't like it. It's impossible to appeal to every single person. It's impossible. You have to also understand that it's impossible to make your music appealing for every person in the world, every
Mhm.
single person.
Oh yeah.
But it is possible to get a good audience, like a good amount of people that listen to your music, influence other people, and it's dope. It's a dope topic. I love music personally. I can't stop listening to it. Like if I was to go deaf, I'd probably be mad. I'd be upset.
Yeah,
I'd be upset, man.
I always say, like, a lot of people, I feel like, right, it's a hard one. If someone had to ask you if you had to choose between being blind or being deaf, I would definitely choose being blind. Like, always. Like, I don't know, like, what I would do without, like, being
like-
able to, like, listen to music. Being
Be
able
like
to,
Tom
hear
off
something.
Avatar.
Yeah, exactly. I'll figure out how to see again. I won't be able to figure out how to hear again.
All you can go off is vibrations, man. You literally feel the vibes.
Yeah, the good vibrations. Got the
Yeah.
good vibrations. Come on. Feel it.
Absolutely, man. I mean,
Yeah.
those were some nice statements to end this too. So, I'd say we'll head out now
Yeah,
and
Trey.
leave all our viewers with our beautiful minds. And from tomorrow on, I think I'll upload the podcast tomorrow.
All right.
And then you can watch all the podcasts on our YouTube channel.
Yeah,
It's just called LiftOff Podcast.
if you wanna,
And
I can link it maybe. I'll
yeah,
link
sure.
it.
I mean, link it. That
I'll
would be great.
Let's see. I should be able to do that. 1 second, y'all.
Because I mean, we made only, this is only our second podcast, so obviously we don't have that many up yet, but there will be a new one every week. So if you miss it, maybe you can just go over to the YouTube channel and rewatch it.
Link is over there in the
And,
chat. I posted it.
You can subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you can, like I said, just go there.
Yeah.
I'll try to upload it every Sunday. So after the podcast is done, I'll try to upload it. And
Rough.
yeah,
Roughly every 24 hours after the podcast, it'll be up on YouTube. You heard it here.
exactly.
Yeah, and again, Styles and Huddy, thank you for taking the time out of your day to be able to do this and have this wonderful conversation and do this amazing thing.
Always.
Of course.
Everyone who's hanging out in chat, for anyone who's lurking, don't forget to stop by these beautiful people's streams. Normally I would be quicker on posting links, but my keyboard is fucked up. But
I mean, I can do that for you. Hold on.
But Styles will be posting the links to Ugly Boy Huddy's channel and his own. If you have not hit follow on me, you're more than welcome to. I suggest you show some love to these absolute beautiful humans that have taken their time out to talk about music here today. And that being said, we're gonna end the stream, and let's see if somebody's on real quick that we can raid and hit them up. Let's see,
Maverick might be, right?
Maverick,
Yeah,
Maverick is still streaming his 24-hour
John.
stream, guys. Petty John, yo, we should. Let's hit up the ill Mav. He's got 1 hour and 45 minutes until the end of his 24-hour stream. He is at the end of his rope over here.
It's been playing all night on my laptop.
Yeah, same over here, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get
Yeah,
that.
I mean, my cell phone got just shut down, so I'm not watching anymore. But,
Gotcha.
Yeah, I was watching the whole day. I had him on since like 7:30, I think, in the morning.
All right, guys, get that hype in the chat. If anybody is hanging out, you absolute lovely human beings. I have to hit raid channel and type in. Oh God, I don't know if I'll be able to type in Maverick's name because my computer's broken. Oh no, somebody, Styles, you know what I'm gonna ask you. You gotta send me his thing so I can copy.
I
paste
don't
it.
have permission, man.
Just
okay,
don't,
hold on.
just do the thing in the Discord. Guys, my keyboard is messed up, so I've been having Styles send me the things I want to type so I can copy paste them.
Interpreter.
He's my interpreter. Alright, so I just typed this into the chat, right? And I never do this. I usually go to the creator dashboard. Okay, I did it. Look at that. 2 viewers ready to
There we
raid.
go.
3 viewers ready to raid. 5 viewers ready to raid.
Let's go.
Can we get?
Oh,
Where's that 6?
yeah.
It says that there's 6, but it's okay because there's 5. We're gonna go over there in 3, 2. I hit it. All right, I can hit end stream.
There we go. Yep.